5 years old, I was in South Philly on 2nd and Washington. I ran up at my crib in South Philly. I don't know what that was about. We had Shootout in my crib in South Philly. That was a whole different thing. You got the ESTs and the cool C's and the, you know what I mean, steady. Like, so like you got, when I was young boy, I ain't stuttered. I think I became crazy when I started stuttering like when I got older. My son stuttered like a little bit, but like, no, when I was young, I was regular. Like, I mean, everything that was right then is wrong now.
Tell me what you know about the hood life.
All right, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. The first 30 seconds is really just a build up for a great conversation. So make sure y'all tune in and watch the whole joint. At the end of this interview, I'm going to post a snippet of part 2. And it get real intense.
But everybody in Philly want to be Muslim because it seems cool to do. He posts 4 times about me. Instead of posting the you supposed to post for me. Crazy to me. I said, bro, so the shit be saying getting to you. Because he went on the rant. He went on the rant, but I don't even think about it. He went on the rant. This venom, this, that, and but you notice he can't really say nothing bad. He don't got nothing to say bad about me too much because it ain't nothing you can really say. This is the way he can write raps good like that. I can't believe he can't write a sentence. Like, listen, his sentence, like, you can't follow him. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? I can't even get mad because I ain't sure what you're talking about. What the fuck is you saying? I don't really understand. Oh, I know. That's funny. Like, that boy is so funny, boy. Niggas following you. Niggas following you as their leader. That's crazy. That's why this is different. This is a different Philly from the Philly I grew up in. Philly I grew up in was different.
So let's talk about it, bro. Let's take him back. Talk about that throwback Philly, like, you feel me, like the real Philly.
Throwback Philly was when I was a kid. Well, it's different. Well, the era I was raised in the 80s as a young boy. In the 80s, like, every neighborhood had a boss. Every neighborhood had somebody that, like, run a neighborhood. So you couldn't just do anything. I mean, you couldn't just be doing anything. That's why people wasn't getting killed unless they was really in a drug game or something like that in the neighborhoods like that, because it always was a boss. I mean, and then everybody knew who each other was. So, like, if I'm down 12th on Huntington, as a young boy, everybody know me. I can't say I did this or done this. Or they know exactly what I do. I steal cars, steal car radios, snatch earrings, and break in stores. You know what I mean? But you can't say something that you wasn't doing because everybody know you. You know what I mean? So, like, it ain't no, like how Instagram now, you can just stand in front of somebody's car and take a picture, act like it's your, back in them days, you had to really be, you had to, whoever you was, people knew. Put it that way. You know what I mean?
No, you had to really be outside back then. There wasn't no social media.
Plus nobody was in the house anyway. Everybody was outside. I mean, it wasn't no being in the house on the computer type shit. That's a new thing. Yeah.
So, I know you moved around a lot throughout your life and shit, but where was you, like, your real adolescence from, like, you know, like 8, 5, and all that type of shit?
Well, I only can remember from when I was 5 years old. I was in South Philly on 2nd and Washington. Projects, 19th floor. Right. Shout out to Timothy. He was up there. He was like my next door neighbor up there. I mean, he does rap too. Like, I knew Mitty since, that's like one of the first people I ever knew in my life. But anyway, I was there. Then I went to 6 years old, something like that. I went to North Philly. I mean, but I was in North Philly before that. I just don't remember. I was born in North Philly. I was born on Lehigh.
Oh, I was about to say, so was it cool to say that you were originally from South?
No. I can't even claim South Philly because I don't know. But it's crazy. I was in South. I lived in South Philly. Had a crib in South Philly. They ran up at my crib in South Philly. I don't know what that was about. We had Shootout in my crib in South Philly. That was a whole different thing. I mean, that was so South Philly is definitely treacherous. But it's like all the niggas I love, like most niggas I love, that's my homies from South Philly. I mean, because when I was upstate, I was on the South Philly block. I mean, shout out to Wack, Wiz. It was just like South Philly stick together in jail. They just go at each other on the streets. My man eBay, rest in peace, was from South Philly, Wilson Projects. Then I used to stay down 31st and Tasker back in like the early 90s and shit. I mean, shit like that.
Real. You mean? How was it like then on like Philly during the early 90s and shit?
All that, bro. Yeah, every night, Broad Street was Broad Street was so crazy that everybody get dressed fly. No fake clothes because it wasn't out yet.
52nd Street wasn't popping back then?
52nd Street was jumping, but not like, it ain't had no nightclubs like what they probably did. I was a North Philly boy though. So I was down Area Avenue, down the Studio 37 and then Broad Street, Broad Diamond McDonald's and all that, you know what I mean? So it was like a fun time because it just felt, the atmosphere felt, the stuff that's going on now wasn't going on then. Like all the shit going on now, like you couldn't be dick riding like that. You couldn't be gay. You can't be gay and be like, you could be gay, but you ain't gonna be no young boy gay and it's gonna be like accept it. You mean you gotta hide that shit? Like you can't be. I mean, you can't be like
it's being like pushed now.
Yeah. Every can't have a movie without somebody being gay. I mean, but back then it was like everybody was like, I mean, on the same page. Put it that way. People had the same morals back then. I mean, it was like this. Everybody kind of was on the same shit. Like, I mean, now it's like people on some other shit. Like, I mean, everything that was right then is wrong now.
Facts, no, fact. So you spoke about Studio 37.
Yeah, Studio 37 was like I mean, it was, now I think it's a strip club now. It's right next to the White Soul Food on Erie Avenue. I mean, I used to see, I think me and Dutch battled out there before back in like the early 90s. Dutch was hot then. Dutch was always a hot rapper. Now when we battled, I'm like, first of all, when I first saw him, I'm thinking this nigga was Chinese or something, right? I'm like, this nigga better than me, because I was like full of myself at the time, and I wasn't even as good as I thought I was. But you know, when you're young, you think you better than you are. And I started bumping into some niggas that was good or better than me. I'm like, I remember I battled. He probably don't even remember this, but a boy named Journalist. I mean, but I'm thinking I'm all that. They start rapping. I'm like, this nigga, like vocabulary was crazy. So like, I was doing the rap when it wasn't cool to rap. You know what I mean? And I was taking, mind you, I'm doing robberies and doing real shit in the street, but still rapping. I mean, because I'm like, damn, I'm trying to do something that's legal.
So talk about that, because like I definitely feel like state property stamped it. Like y'all put Philly on. We was already popping, but y'all put Philly on the map in a whole different level.
We put Philly on the map, which though made niggas want to rap.
Right. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, so that's why I don't like the fact that niggas don't give us our props like that, because niggas wouldn't even be rapping, because it wasn't cool to rap. Y'all seeing us make it. Niggas from the streets that's just like y'all make it and talk about the shit that's in the street and make it, and then in movies and all that shit, clothes. So like they don't give us our props enough. They just don't. Because without us, I not saying niggas won't be rapping, but they wouldn't have been no DVD era when they came.
I was about to say that we definitely gonna get into.
We started the DVD era. Period. That shit wouldn't even exist without us. As soon as we did Hot 97, everybody all young boys start rapping.
So look, I want to talk about who is popping. You know, like talk about the groups who laid some of the foundation before like state property.
I'm gonna tell you exactly who it was. From Tough Crew. I love Tough Crew. They my part of the town. That was like 88, 100X, Ram Squad. Of course, you got the ESTs and the Cool C's and the, steady. So like, I don't really count Will Smith. I look at him as more like a movie star.
Okay.
Of course, he did rapping. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, far as the street type of shit. Yeah, I say Will Smith bigger than all that type. You know what I mean? Like he like bigger. I don't really count him as like the. You know what I mean? Cause nobody really listen to Will Smith like I want to rap like I want to be a rapper. You know what I mean? When I heard Tough Crew, North Side, in my part of town, and you know what I mean, and shit, like, I heard Cool C, Glamorous Life, and shit, like Fresh Go and Miz, we don't play. You know what I mean? Even though Miz from Philly, Fresh Go from I think in New York somewhere, but I was a rap scientist, historian. You know what I mean?
Taking back to the young boy days, what made you even want to rap?
You know what's crazy? When I was a young boy, I used to always write raps, but it was kind of corny, so I used to never say them. But that's just the right, like, say if Scarface come out with a new CD, I write all Scarface raps. I listen to him, stop the tape, play it, and write everything he said down. I mean, that's how I used to learn they raps real easy and fast. So I was writing they raps, but I was infatuated with, like, I remember one time, bro, I seen a poster of Slick Rick, right, in a record store. I'm probably like 10 years old. I'm pumping gas. The poster was like $8. I'm like, damn, that shit $8. Bro, I went and pumped gas and saved $8 to get this, because this was on the ceiling. Back then they had this poster. I wanted to buy it so I could see his chains up close. He had all these shots, like, I want to see them shit. I couldn't really see him on the ceiling. I mean, so I was like, it was like, I guess as a kid, you seeing people that's getting money, that's black, that's doing it legally, and they could do it and not get locked up for it. I guess it's like something enticing to you without you even really realizing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so look, while we visiting the childhood era, I got, a personal question for me, too, because this has become a challenge with me in my field of work. So I know you, and it's like I grew into it, but I want to know as far as like when you was a young boy and stuttering, did that like challenge you or?
When I was young boy, I ain't stuttered. I think I became crazy when I started stuttering, like when I got older. My son stuttered like a little bit, but like no, when I was young, I was regular. I think I got crazy as I got older, going through too much shit. You know what I mean? Going through too much. I just talk real fast.
Right. I be going through the same. I feel like my brain be moving at a faster pace and shit.
That's exactly what it be. You trying to get that shit out, you thinking. I mean, but like, but I ain't gonna lie. A lot of times my kids be like, "Yo, Dad, what you say?" Or what you? My don't know what I be saying most of the time. Like a lot of times.
That's how my girl be, bro. Like she starting to really understand me at the years and.
Yeah.
So, give some advice to the youth who might be dealing with some type of, speech impediment or just.
I mean, if this is my thing. If you got a speech impediment that's really bothering you, you got to find a way to look up. First of all, they got all the information, YouTube or whatever, to find out what helps you with a speech impediment. But at the same time, don't let it define you, because a speech impediment don't define who you are. I mean, you still be thorough, you still can get money, you can still do all that. I mean, you just probably can't be doing no public speaking events. You know what I mean? But in the hood, I had a homie named Weezy that started crazy. We used to tease him and shit like, I mean, nobody don't really care about that if you're thorough. I think it's a lot before I went to school. My dad used to when I had a dad before, I had to pray 5 times a day. My dad was one of them. He wasn't one of them people like, just, you had to pray. My dad, first thing he told me, he's like, remember, you love Allah more than you love your mom, your dad, your kids, everybody. I'm like, who is Allah? I was a kid. Like, so this in 1984,